there, everybody. This is the Sleuthy teacher back today with episode 2 of our playthrough of Nancy Drew number 7, The Ghost Dogs of Moon Lake. Where we left off in our last episode, Nancy Drew arrived to visit her friend Sally McDonald at Moon Lake, Pennsylvania, but when Nancy arrived, Sally was nowhere to be found. Evidently, Sally's house is haunted by ghost dogs, and after seeing the haunting for ourselves, it is pretty creepy. We met our suspects for this game, Ranger Akers, Emily Griffin, and Red Knot, and we got some chores done as well. So now that you're all caught up, let's get in to episode 2. Alright, so where we left off, we found, and it's not going to let me show it, we found a picture of two people. We don't really know who they are. We found a secret area back behind the stairs over here. So lots of stuff going on. Let's switch over to daytime and see if we can get that camouflage gear to get those last bird pictures, and maybe Ranger Akers will know something about that picture. Okay.
Howdy, Nancy.
To make a long story short, I need some camouflage gear.
Got some right over here. One size fits all. But I'm running kind of low on bait. So if you go out and get me, say a dozen little critters, I'll give you the camos.
Oh, this puzzle.
A dozen little critters?
Worms, spiders, beetles, grubs. Anything that wriggles on its belly'll do. Just look under stuff. Rocks, logs, dead leaves. Should be able to find 12 in no time.
Do I have to? Do I really have to?
Hunting for critters isn't illegal, is it?
Things ain't quite that bad around here. Least not yet. Now, if Jeff Akers' daddy was still around, you might get arrested for cruelty to animals or some such nonsense. Joe Akers used to be the deputy sheriff. Real critter lover, that one was.
Joe Akers is Jeff's father?
That's right.
I found an old newspaper in Sally's house that contained an article on Mickey Malone. It really got my curiosity going. What else can you tell me about him?
Person you should talk to is Jeff Akers. He's got this historical museum thing going out at that ranger station of his.
I found this picture in Sally's house. Do you recognize anybody?
I'm guessing the guy's Mickey Malone, but I don't know who's that lady. Sounds like a case for our resident know-it-all Ranger Akers.
Guess I'll see you later.
Keep on trucking.
Okay. Oh, the 12 critters puzzle. I mean, really, Nancy, why can't you just bring money with you? Your dad is a lawyer. You obviously have money. Just bring money with you, and then we don't have to do chores like go and finding bugs. Ugh, it's fine. Everything's fine.
You're back.
Where's Yogi?
In the run, out back. Even out of sight, he's under my full control, as park rules require.
I found a newspaper dating back to 1927 in Sally's house. Since you're kind of an expert on the history of Moon Lake, do you mind if I ask you some questions about Mickey Malone?
Not at all.
The article mentioned that a man named William Akers used to work for Malone. Is he a relative of yours?
No. Quite a coincidence, I'll admit, but no. I am in no way related to the head flunky of some two-bit gangster and his gang of thugs.
I found this old picture in Sally's house. Do you know who these people are?
The man is Mickey Malone, I know that. I'm guessing that this is his girlfriend, Vivian Burnett, I think her name was. And judging by the year of that brand new Ford in the background, I'd say the picture was taken in 1928.
She was probably as familiar with Malone's house and his dogs as he was. Think there's any chance she's still alive?
Tell you what, Miss Drew. Why don't I go through my files and see what I can dig up on this mystery woman? I'm a busy man, but like I always say, I'm here to serve.
When and why was Malone arrested?
I'm sorry, Miss Drew. As usual, I'm a little pressed for time. If you have more questions, why don't you sit down at the computer and peruse the Moon Lake database of fascinating factoids that I've put together?
What happened to Akers and the rest of Malone's gang after he went to prison?
Fortunately for Moon Lake, they all left and went their separate ways.
Have you gotten the results back from that water sample I left with you?
I meant to call the Department of Health today for a status report, but frankly, I've been way too busy.
Sounds like Moon Lake could use 2 rangers.
If I were in charge of just 10 more acres of parkland, they'd give me an assistant, and I could devote more time to the acquisition of more land and eventually put Moon Lake on the map as one of the biggest, most popular parks in the state.
Why didn't the Parks Department buy the Malone property instead of Sally?
She outbid them, the cheapskates.
Well, if those dogs scare Sally away for good, other people are bound to think twice about buying the place. The bank will lower its price, and you'll have your land.
You're insinuating things again, Miss Drew.
I'm sorry, I really am. It's just that Sally's my friend, and I'd really like to find out why someone's doing this to her.
Tell you what, if you're serious about making amends, there's some boxes by the computer labeled with dates. They're from the estate of a local history buff. She kept everything from newspaper clippings to old photos to recipes for apple crisp. She put everything in envelopes, then numbered them by year using Roman numerals. Just put the envelopes in order by year with the earliest date in front. Oh, and if you're rusty on Roman numerals, there's an entry on them in the computer.
Okay if I read what's in the envelopes?
Don't go reading anything until you're through, or take my word for it, you'll never get finished.
I've been trying to take pictures of birds for this guy named Red Knot. Ever met him?
Oh yes, the Birdman. I'd stay away from him if I were you.
Why? Is something wrong with him?
He's a fanatic. He's got it in his head that Moon Lake would be the best birdwatching venue in the world except for one thing: too many people. Believe me, if there was a way to get this park shut down and all the homes on the lake torn down, he'd do it in an instant.
Thanks for all your help.
Always a pleasure.
And now we have another chore. I have a feeling this is going to be the chores episode. Okay. Now, Roman numerals are really not all that bad. But when you have to do...
Let's see. Jeff said the envelope with the earliest date goes down in the front of each box.
20 Roman numerals, that just feels like a lot. Okay, so let's look up some information on Roman numerals, and it's so weird how you even find information on them. So you have to go to History of Moon Lake, and then you have to go to the creation of Moon Lake State Park, then we go to Roman numerals. Okay, so this explains how Roman numerals work, but really the gist of it is I equals 1, B equals 5, X equals 10, L equals 50, C equals 100, D equals 500, and then M equals 1000. So when we see MCM, which you'll see that here quite a bit in a minute, MCM would be 1000, and then CM, since the C comes before the M, will be 900. So when we see MCM, that actually means 1900. Okay. So now let's get this done. Okay, so MCM, like I said, is 1900. MCMX would be 1910. I'm assuming that's going to be over here somewhere. Oh, actually, this will be 11, so that'll go, oops, there. MCM IV would be 4. MCM VIII would be 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is 1900. This is 19. 1904. This is 1908. This is 1910. This is 1911. Okay, so this column's done. MCMXII, that would be 1913. MCMXIV, that would be 1914. MCMLX, so we haven't seen an L yet. L is 50, so 50 plus an X would be 60. So actually this is going to go all the way over here. Let's see here. MCMXVIII, that would be 15, 16, 17. So that would be 17. I don't know what to do with this envelope that I'm holding. Let's see here. 19, XV would be 15. Okay. So 13, 14, 15. Let's see here. XVI, 17. XIX would be 19. Okay, so that column's done. Let's see here. 1920 through 1945. Well, LI would be 51. So this one's actually going to go over here. 2 X's would be... Oh, no. Come. Work
Now
with
that
me.
they're all sorted, I can do some reading.
Seriously? I'm done? That was an accident. Cool. Okay. I thought that was going to take a lot longer than it did. Go us. Okay, so now we can look through some of this information here. Okay. War takes February 13th, 1941. Michael Mickey Malone died yesterday of liver failure in the federal penitentiary at Leavenworth, Kansas at the age of 52. Born in Newark, New Jersey in 1889, Malone owned and operated Philadelphia Duds & Suds, a chain of laundromats and dry cleaners that allowed him to disguise and disperse the money he made as a racketeer. Compared to other gangsters, Malone kept a relatively low profile. His desire for privacy was enforced by 4 large dogs who never left his side. Although he was rumored to be involved in everything from running to gold heist, he never spent a single night in jail until he was arrested in 1932 for tax evasion. That is an important year. We're going to write that down. He was convicted the following year and was sentenced to 8 years in federal prison. He died just 2 months before he was scheduled to be released. Okay, so there's that one. Let's see what's in this folder. Gangster nabbed at Moon Lake residence. Mickey Malone arrested right at his luxurious Moon Lake property. And this was January 29th, 1932. Okay, I can't remember if we need the month and day that he was pinched, but I'm going to write it down anyway. All right, it says Mickey Malone, a Philadelphia businessman long considered by police to be a bootlegger and racketeer, finally felt the sting of the sword of justice when he was arrested this morning at his house on Moon Lake. Careful to keep Malone's attack dogs at bay, agents from the Internal Revenue Service and the Department of Justice raided the lakefront home at dawn, catching Malone and his henchmen completely by surprise. Within seconds, Malone was handcuffed. Wearing only an overcoat over his pajamas, he was swept out the door and into a waiting car. He was driven directly to Philadelphia, where he was jailed on charges of tax evasion and conspiracy to violate prohibition laws. The police have been wise to Malone's criminal activities for years, but 3 previous attempts to incarcerate him failed miserably when Malone's shadowy associates, through bribes and threats, forced prosecution witness to recant their stories. This time, federal agents intend to rely on ledgers and tax returns to prove their case. Since 1927, when it was determined that income gained through illegal means is taxable, authorities have been eager to use this ruling to make thugs like Malone pay for their crimes. Mickey Malone's been making us look like fools for a long time, declared Bureau of Investigation agent Waldo Mathias. But today the good guys finally got the last laugh. Malone loudly and repeatedly proclaimed that he had done nothing wrong as he was led to jail. However, his protestations of innocence ended abruptly when, apparently not wishing to be photographed in his pajamas, Malone took a swing at a press photographer. He was quickly subdued. Waldo Mathias. I feel like we've seen that name somewhere. Okay, another folder here. Is a gangster about to become Moon Lake's newest residence? This was written March 17th, 1925. Rumors are flying thick and fast that Mickey Malone, a self-proclaimed captain of industry with far more ties to gamblers and smugglers than to legitimate businessmen, is building a house on the north shore of Moon Lake. The rumors started last June when the 10-acre property on which the house was being built was purchased by Philadelphia Dudds & Sutts, a company owned by Malone, which is widely believed to be merely a front for his criminal undertakings. Secrecy has shrouded the project ever since construction began in October of last year. 4 men and a locked gate block the driveway leading to the site. Unauthorized persons and vehicles are summarily turned away. Day and night, security guards patrol the heavily wooded lakefront property. Several large trucks strategically parked obscure any and all views of the site from the water. Even the workmen have been sworn to silence. When asked if Mickey Malone was indeed building a home on Moon Lake, Waldo Mathias, the agent spearheading the Department of Justice's investigation of Malone's activities, had only this to say: "If he is, I suggest he live it up while he can, because the place we're going to be sending him to ain't on no beach, and he's going to be there for a real long time." Mr. Malone could not be reached for comment. All right, and one more folder. Dragging ban is a drag for Pennsylvania treasure hunter. There's gold in them thar sandbars. At least that's been the experience of Emily Griffin, owner of M's Emporium on Moon Lake in central Pennsylvania. For the past 10 years, she has been dragging a heavy net back and forth along the bottom of the lake, uncovering and bringing to the surface relics from the 1920s. I dragged up everything from diamond tiaras to skeleton keys to full bottles of French cognac, said Griffin. It just blows my mind that what those people would drop back then and never bother going back for. She was referring to the wealthy guests of gangster Mickey Malone, who built a home on the lake in 1925 and threw large raucous parties almost every weekend. Because his guests would travel to and from the house by boat, personal items were lost overboard with great frequency. Miss Griffin estimates that she has made close to $20,000 in selling her finds to antique hunters and tourists. But last week, her windfall came to an end. The county in which Moon Lake is located passed an ordinance making the recovery of objects from the lakebed illegal. The ban arose from the fact that the bottom of Moon Lake is composed of unusually fine sand. When disturbed, it clouds the water, sometimes for days, posing a threat to the aquatic plants and fish that otherwise thrive there. Ranger Park Acres, who oversees the state park surrounding the lake, initiated the ban. The equal balance of Moon Lake is simply too delicate to ignore, he contends. But Miss Griffin begs to differ. The whole thing's just plumb ridiculous, she says. You know what all that stuff down there is doing right now? It's rusting, rotting away, polluting the water. Heck, by getting it out of here, I'm doing the county a favor. Unfortunately, the county doesn't see it that way, and it appears that Miss Griffin will have to abandon what had become a pleasantly profitable hobby. Oh, I don't know, she shrugs. I can still sell the stuff that washes up on shore, and that happens, especially after a good storm. So I may be down, she says with her eyes twinkling, but I ain't necessarily out. And then money won't get flushed down this toilet. Watch the Septics Roadshow, Monday nights on the Plumbing Broadcast Service. Boy, I bet people are just flush with excitement to watch that. Okay, so that is done. Let's let Acres know, and then we'll get the rest of our chores done. There
You're back.
I finished putting all those envelopes in order.
Excellent. Thank you, Miss Drew. And to show my gratitude, I've got something for you.
It doesn't involve Roman numerals, does it?
No, it's an honorary Junior Park Ranger pin. I keep them on hand so I can give them out to children whom I see demonstrating respect for park rules and regulations. A little bit of positive reinforcement.
You're giving me a pin? Me, a grown adult, a pin as a thank you?
Unfortunately, I don't get to give them out that often.
Oh, gee, thanks, Ranger Acres.
She said through clenched teeth.
Thanks for all your help.
That's why I'm here.
Okay, I'm just teasing. Honestly, I think collecting pins is kind of fun, so I probably would be really excited to get something like that. But you know what would be even cooler? Money, so I don't have to get all these critters. Anyway. Okay, so let's start this critter puzzle. It actually is not as bad as I've been whining and complaining about. Really all you have to do, there you can hear one, is go around until you have little captions there that tell you that you hear a critter. Yeah, open it up, and there we go, 2 down. I think the part about this puzzle that really irritates me is that you have to be so on top of things and you can't miss anything. Otherwise, you have to go back and forth between the night cycle and the day cycle multiple times, and it just gets really old after a while.
Those look too rotten.
But at least we have good music to listen to as we do it. So there's that. Which, as I'm playing this, it is extremely cold outside. I'm actually sitting under a heated blanket. It's so cold. So getting to listen to summer sounds actually is not all that bad. Another bug here. Oh, it's a cricket too. I hate crickets. I tell you what though, sitting under a heated blanket as I'm playing games has become quite the game changer. As a pretty much freezing cold person all the time, it's kind of nice to not be cold. Okay, so let's see, here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 critters. Okay. Catch that one. Where am I hearing that bug? Okay, it's not there. Must be this one. Okay, there we go. So now we're at 6, halfway there. Okay, so see, if you don't hear anything, checking under stuff isn't really necessary because you aren't going to find anything there. Okay, let's see here. Come on. There we go. Is there more? I feel like I grabbed that worm kind of slow. Okay, and this is where we just were. Caw, caw. Okay, so we have the log. Let's see here. Oh, oops. Go that way. There we go. I can't remember if there's anything we could look under for bugs over it. Oh, yep, there is. Okay, there's nothing there now. Okay, so let's see here. How many do we have? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're at 7. Okay, I think we're gonna go back to the house and change it over to night and see if we can find the remaining critters here. Okay. It shows a long way to rotate. There we go. Okay. PM. Honestly, I think this would have been a really cool opportunity for them to have put in another ghost dog setting. How genuinely terrifying would it be to have the ghost dogs howling out in the distance as you're walking around the forest trying to find the critters? That would be terrifying. Oh. There we go. Owl hooting. Okay, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 2 left. There it is. Okay. I was gonna say where. There we are. So the last 2. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Got it. As we walk back to the house, I suppose I should probably fess up to why I don't like this puzzle so much. Oh, well, that's terrifying. I did not know that it did that. I have never had that happen when I'm walking out here at night, hearing the ghost dogs out in the distance. Anyway, the reason why I don't like the critter puzzle all that much, for whatever reason, the first time I did this, I thought she said we needed to get 13 critters. No idea where I got that number, but I walked around for so long looking for that last critter, and then I can't even remember how I figured out that it was 12 that I needed, but I was so upset. So it's maybe not necessarily that this puzzle is awful, it's just the first time that I played this, I had a case of the dumb. And instead of holding myself accountable for it, I just take it out on the game.
How's the bird watching coming along?
I'm sorry, but finding those birds is harder than I thought it would be. Can you give me any tips?
You gotta look for them. This isn't gonna be any Sunday picnic, you know? And try early in the morning. That's when most of them are singing.
See you in a while.
No hurry.
Okay. So he wasn't really very helpful, but I didn't think he would be. It's fine. Okay, so now that we have the critters, let's go back to daytime. And then we can bring them to Sally and get the camouflage gear. And then maybe we can finish Red's picture-taking puzzle. So how's everybody doing today? You doing good? Have you done anything fun, exciting lately? I'd love to know. Let me know down in the comments below. Let's see here. All right. Hey, Em, guess what I have for you?
Nice Junior Park Ranger pen. You must really be on Acre's good side.
Why, thanks. I think the color matches my eyes.
Any word from Tucker, what's his name? He hasn't been by to move that tree yet.
I'll give him another call. But like I said, the man marches to the beat of another drummer. A very slow drummer.
Guess I'll see you later.
Keep on trucking.
Pardon me, I have your bugs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 12 bugs. Take the bugs.
Hey, Nancy, how's the bait finding coming along?
12 big, fat, juicy ones, just like you wanted.
Well, now, you done all right for a city gal. Here you go. Hope whatever you're hiding from won't catch you. How you holding up?
Guess I'll see you later.
You betcha.
Okay, so we have the camouflage gear. That made me second guess myself a little bit when it didn't let me do that right away. Since we're already out on the lake, we're going to swing by and check in with Ranger Acres and see if we have the results from the well sample yet.
Good news. I have information on your mystery woman.
Ooh, or that.
Thank you so much. Is she still alive?
Her name these days is Vivian Whitmore. She lives in Las Vegas, and her number is 702-555-9137.
9137. Awesome.
Sorry to bother you again, but did those results from the water test come in yet?
Well, there's something here for you from the State Department of Health.
Do not drink or use the water from your well. Initial
Oh my
test.
gosh, not only is the water bad, but it seems like the well may have been contaminated deliberately.
Initial tests found high levels of arsenic in the sample you sent us. While it's not unusual to find trace amounts of arsenic in wells in your area, the amount in your sample far exceeded standard safety limits. Therefore, the water in your well is unsafe for any purpose. Further tests have been requested. They will take 2 weeks to complete. You will be informed as to what, if anything, they uncover.
I wouldn't go jumping to conclusions without proof, Ms. Drew. I'm sure there's a far less melodramatic explanation.
Thanks for all your help.
Always a pleasure.
All right, so the well water at Sally's house has been contaminated with arsenic. And I'm guessing it's not somebody throwing apple seeds down into the pit. Okay, let's take some pictures. Wrong way. Okay, so let's see here. We need the tanager and the cardinal. So the red bird, gonna take a left and then keep going straight at the fallen tree. Okay. Follow the path, go straight at the fallen tree. There it is. Alright, so there's that one. And then we need the tanager, which was the orange bird, I think. So we'll go back to the fallen tree and go this way this time. And up a log. Go this way. Okay. Should be around here? Did I read that wrong? I probably read that wrong. Or it's not the orange bird that I need. Which I thought it was. Well, maybe it's that one. No. Let's see. Okay, so it's not there. There we are. Oh my gosh, come on, where's my camera? There we go. Okay. We have one remaining, and it is pretty difficult to find. So we have to change it over to night again, and we have to ask Red where to find it. But before we do that, we might as well call Vivian Whitmore and see what she has to tell us. Okay, so 1-702-555-9137.
If you're selling something, hang up right now. I got an air horn in my hand that could deafen a dinosaur, and I'm not afraid to use it.
Oh, no, please. I'm not selling anything. Believe me. Is this Vivian Whitmore?
Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. You got exactly 5 seconds to state your business.
My name is Nancy Drew. I'm calling from Moon Lake, Pennsylvania. I just wanted to ask you some questions.
Oh, right. The Moon Lake Park Ranger said you might call. But you have to talk fast. An old friend of mine is flying in today from Florida. And when I say old, I mean old, as in 5 years older than I am. Don't bother trying to do the math, sweet stuff. You'll hurt yourself. So, that ranger fella said you found an old picture of me.
It was of you and Mickey Malone. Do you remember him?
Of course I remember him. I remember everything about that time of my life. It was the roaring 20s, for crying out loud. One of the most exciting decades in American history. Just because I've got a few years on most people doesn't mean my brain's turned to tapioca, sweet stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you.
Mickey and I dated for 5 years. Oh, I knew what he was, and I didn't approve, believe you me. But I was young, and we got along so well, and he was so considerate. He always kept birch beer on tap at that speakeasy of his just for me.
He had a speakeasy? Where?
It was in the basement, right there at Moon Lake. Feds never knew about it, but everybody who was anybody on the East Coast back then, actors, musicians, bankers, politicians, they knew. You weren't big time unless you'd made at least one trip to Moon Lake Mickey's.
That's weird. I'm staying in his old house on Moon Lake, and I haven't seen any sign of a speakeasy.
Course you haven't. You're not supposed to. Only Mickey and Willie knew how to get into the speakeasy from the house. The rest of us had to go in and out the regular way, through the cemetery.
The cemetery?
There was a lock hidden in one of the tombstones in that little cemetery behind the house. You needed a key to unlock it, and when you did, stairs would appear that led to the speakeasy.
Do you know anything about the safe that's in the cellar of his house at Moon Lake?
You must be talking about the wall safe. That was Willie's. By Willie, I mean William Akers, one of the guys who worked for Mickey.
I don't suppose you happen to know the combination.
No one knew the combination, not even Mickey. Mostly because Willie was constantly changing it. He was a little paranoid and superstitious. Well, as I recall, he picked the most unlucky number he could think of and used that for the combination. He called it a reverse jinx.
Unlucky number? Like what?
Oh, like the date that something bad happened, like when the stock market crashed, or when somebody died, or the address of a house that caught fire, or the phone number of the police, that sort of thing.
Do you have any idea how to get into Malone's speakeasy from the house?
I sure don't. That saloon was built using 2 main ingredients, concrete and secrecy. Mickey always bragged that nobody could get in unless he wanted them in, and I do believe he was right. But I'll tell you what, if you send me that picture of me and Mickey, I'll send you my key.
The key to the tombstone? You still have it?
It's in the bottom of my jewelry box. I've come this close to throwing it out 100 times, but it's so small, and the memories it brings back are so big. Well, I just couldn't, as a joke. Mickey had a tombstone made with the name of this federal agent who had it out for him, inscribed on it. That's the one the key unlocks.
It's been fun talking to you.
I'll be suing you.
I enjoy Vivian. She's fun. Okay, so... Nope, turn around. There we go. Tonight time again. Talk to Red. Find out where we can find the red-tailed hawk. And that will be the end of that chore.
How's the bird watching coming along?
I just can't seem to find a red-tailed hawk. Any suggestions?
Well, there's gotta be lots around here. You haven't been going around wearing sunglasses and earmuffs, have you?
Maybe.
No, Red, I haven't.
Well, according to my bird map, they like to nest in the big tree that's just to the southwest of the Malone house. I suggest you park yourself nearby and wait. Bound to spot one sooner or later.
See you in a while.
Shh, down a notch. Remember.
Yeah. All right. So, apparently the hawk likes the big stump out front of the house. So, back to daytime. And we'll see if we can find it. Okay. Let's see. Oh, wrong way. Should be this way.
Well, I don't see any hawks, but this is probably the tree Red was talking about. At least it was the tree. That sounded like a hawk. Hey, what is that hawk standing on? Oh, that looks like a speaker.
Oh no!
Huh? I better get out of here. My arms and legs are tied. I can't move. At least I can kick. If I could just get that scythe down, I could use the blade to cut the rope around my wrists and free my hands.
Okay, let's see if I can get this first try. And I think I just broke it. Yep. Yep, I did. There we go. Oops. Okay, now that I remember how to do this. Like that. There we go. Like this. That. Lift that up. Then it rolls.
I can't just let this thing burn up. I've got to put it out.
Run, Nancy, run! Hiya!
What in blazes happened? I saw the fire from my platform and came running. You weren't in there playing with matches, were you?
I was looking at birds, and then I noticed something on the house, and the next thing I knew, I was locked in the tool shed and somebody was setting it on fire.
Whoa, you're not making much sense. Probably smoke inhalation or something. Come talk to me after you've cleaned yourself up and gotten some sleep. I need to tell you something.
Somebody tried to kill you?
I didn't say that.
Somebody knocked you out, locked you in a shed, set it on fire, and you think they were, what, just pulling a prank? Wake up and smell the hostile vibes, Nancy.
I guess it's just hard for me to believe that anybody would consider me to be that big a threat.
I should have never let you stay there by yourself.
Sally, I'm fine. I feel bad about your tool shed, though.
Who cares about the shed? It was full of junk anyway. I'm glad to be rid of it.
That's kind of the way Ranger Akers saw it, too. He showed up right after the birdwatcher did and ticketed me for burning refuse in a manner that endangered park property.
That man is insufferable.
Emily was nice, though. She came by right afterwards and wouldn't leave until I drank the tea she made for me.
Look, Nancy, one more time. If you want to leave, just say the word and I'll come get you.
Sally, one more time. I'm fine.
Well, then promise me you'll be careful, okay?
I promise. I'll be in touch.
You better.
Okay. So there we go. Typical Nancy Drew fashion, she gets knocked out and put into a dangerous situation. Just normal daily occurrence for her, right? Okay, so it's nighttime. Red said he needed to talk to us. So let's go do that.
Hello there. I owe you an apology. After you came up here looking for those red tails, I gave my map a closer look and realized it was more than 50 years old. Reason you can't find them is probably because their favorite nesting tree is gone. Finding that hawk's gonna be harder than I thought, so why don't you just give me back my camera and I'll take it from here. It didn't get burned up in that fire or anything, did it?
You'll be happy to know that I did get a picture of a red-tailed hawk. So here's your camera back. I got all the birds.
Thank you, Nancy. Nice work. You're a credit to your generation.
I never noticed those gas cans before.
I ran out of gas. So much for being prepared, huh? Well, that's all I wanted to tell you. I'm sure you've got places to go, things to see, people to pester.
See you in a while.
No hurry.
Okay. So that chore is officially done. Okay. So I wonder if we can get into the cellar from out here. Yes, we can. Okay, so Mickey Malone pinched, which I believe would be when he got arrested. Okay, it is multiple digits. So I think he got arrested January 29th, 1932. So that would either be 1/29/32 or 1/29/1932. So we'll just try them all and see what happens. I don't quite remember.
It's blocked.
What do you mean it's blocked?
It's blocked. It looks like a tiny hole.
There we go.
What's the combination?
There we go. Oh my gosh. There we go. Okay, so we need
I
the
bet those were deer mice.
respirator. Oh wait, I need gloves, don't I? I wonder what happens if I grab it.
I better be careful. I better be careful. I better be careful.
Okay, it's not gonna let me. Bet there's gloves upstairs and I just missed it. I bet it's under the sink. Cannot remember where I find gloves. There they are. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, so now we can use the gloves. Journal. William Akers, 1933 to 1942.
Speakeasy.
Today Mickey went to prison, but when they were walking him to the paddy wagon, he told me to take care of his dogs, and when the time came to do their tombstones like he told me, then he whispered to me to look under the Victoria in the speakeasy at Moon Lake. He said I'd find a map to the gold he stole 2 years ago. Then they shoved him into the wagon, and that was that. Poor Mickey. How's a guy ever spent one night in jail supposed to spend 8 years in prison? He'll never make it. I think he wants me to have the gold because deep down he knows he's never coming home. Anyway, I looked under the Victoria and I found the map. The problem is there's nothing on it except a bunch of lines and the words, "The dogs will lead the way." There's no X marking the spot or directions or nothing. But I need the money bad. My wife and baby haven't had anything decent to eat in months, so I'm gonna pack them up and move to Moon Lake permanently so I can spend all my time looking for the gold. Mickey never told me outright that he was the guy who pulled off the hole-in-the-floor gold heist. He always said the less I knew, the healthier I'd stay. But according to the papers, a bunch of the gold was stolen off a moving train right under the noses of about a dozen Pinkertons. Mickey must have greased somebody's palm real good and got him to cut a hole in the floor of the boxcar the gold was going to be shipped in. After the gold was loaded, one of his boys crawled under the train and pulled himself into the boxcar. Then, when the train was moving, he dropped the gold down the hole onto the tracks. Mickey's boys picked it up and got away clean. Nobody ever suspected Mickey was behind it. So what I'm looking for is 20 gold bars. The paper said altogether they weighed around 600 pounds. The question is, did Mickey hide them in one place or did he spread them around? He must have buried them, but where? I just thought of something. Maybe Mickey trained his dogs to go to the gold if you say the right word. I'm gonna try saying gold to them tomorrow and see what happens. I've said every word I can think of to all the dogs, but they haven't led me anywhere except around in circles. I spent the last month following them around. First Xander, then Vetus, then Lucy. I don't have to follow Iggy because all he does is sleep on the porch. So it looks like I'm gonna have to start digging. I'll dig under the porch first. Seeing as that's where Iggy always is. A month ago, I started working as a handyman over in Lewiston to make ends meet. So even though I stop by Mickey's every day to feed the dogs, I can only look for the gold at night. I dug all around under the porch, but I didn't find nothing. Come on, the porch.
Joe Akers? Emily said Jeff Akers' father was named Joe. Maybe Jeff is related to William Akers after all.
But the next on the map, for Iggy, because that's the place he always leads me to. I was so busy digging last Tuesday night that I almost wasn't there when my son was born. We're calling him Joe. His big sister's real happy. She says baby Joe is just like the dolly she's always wanted, but we could never afford to get her. Truth is, we can't really afford Joe neither. I keep writing to Mickey, asking him to please tell me straight out where the gold is, but he never writes back. I'll just have to keep digging. Leavenworth Prison, Leavenworth 48, Kansas. Now I spend all my free time digging in the woods. I dig around everything that could be a landmark. Logs, trees, rocks, stumps, but I never find nothing. Plus, I keep getting lost. The paths look so much alike, especially at night, that I spend most of my time trying to figure out where I am. So last Sunday I memorized the way to the cemetery. It's left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, right, left. Even though Mickey never allowed the dogs into the speakeasy or the tunnels, I've been looking there for the gold because I looked everywhere else I can think of and got nowhere. Last week I found out that Mickey changed the passcode to the spigots in the speakeasy. This got my hopes up because the way I figured it, why would Mickey change the code without telling me unless he was hiding something? When I finally figured out the new code, I didn't find nothing in the tunnel that opened up that wasn't there before. Why Mickey spent all that money on pictures of those dogs of his, I'll never understand. I give up. Mickey's dead and so are all his dogs. I'll never find the gold. I got a good job offer over in Harrisburg and I'm gonna take it. Little Joe and Sarah deserve a better life than they've gotten so far, and it's high time Callie got a nice house and a husband who doesn't spend all his time chasing after something he can't find. But I'm leaving this journal here because who knows? Maybe someday I'll suddenly remember something Mickey said and it'll finally hit me where he hid the gold. Maybe I'll come back here and find it after all. But in the meantime, I got my family. They're what's important. They are treasure enough.
The dogs will lead the way. I wonder what that means.
So here's the map that he was referring to. Close this up. Okay. So got all of that done. Grab my flashlight. Okay, so we're gonna go to daytime and we're gonna have a talk with Ranger Akers. Because clearly he lied to us about not being related to William Akers. That may have to nail that picture of Vivian to. Okay. Ranger Akers, I got a bone to pick with you.
Hello again, Miss Drew. Am I in for another interrogation?
I'd like to mail this photo to the woman in Las Vegas. Can you do that for me?
As always, I'm here to serve, Miss Drew. Just give it to me and I'll take care of it. I'm sure she'll be very pleased to get this back.
What do you know about a man named Joe Akers?
Why do you ask?
I understand he used to be the deputy here.
So?
According to Emily Griffin, Deputy Joe Akers was your father. And according to the journal I found, William Akers' son was named Joe. Another coincidence?
All right. William Akers was my grandfather.
Why didn't you tell me that before?
It's not exactly something I'm proud of. My father spent his whole life trying to make people forget what my grandfather was, and trying to make sure people who didn't know what he was never found out. I've been doing the same thing.
What did William Akers do after Malone was arrested?
I'm afraid you're going to have to excuse me, Miss Drew. In case you've forgotten, I'm a very busy man.
And then he stands there, doing nothing. Interesting. Can we talk to you yet?
I apologize for my previous behavior. As a park ranger, I strive to keep my personal feelings in check at all times, and that time I failed. It's my duty as a public servant to try to make it up to you. What would you like to know?
What can you tell me about the gold that Malone supposedly buried on his property?
As far as I know, it doesn't exist. It's just one of those rumors people want to believe, so they do.
Thanks for all your help.
Always a pleasure.
All right. Let's go talk to Emily. I'm sorry.
How you holding up?
Do you know anything about the gold that Mickey Malone supposedly buried somewhere on his property?
All I got to say about it is, if there really was a bunch of gold buried somewhere and nobody ever found it, it's for darn sure nobody ever will. Not with them dogs up there.
Guess I'll see you later.
Yodelay hee-hoo!
All right. Let's see here. I think I'm gonna check the PDA here. Do we have? That's just phone numbers. I heard www.HerInteractive.com is a great place to learn about the latest detective techniques. I'll have to check it out when I get back home. Smiley face. I love that. That's great. Okay, so I think we might be at a little bit of a standstill until that letter, it's not the letter, the picture, gets delivered to Vivian. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna move ahead a day and see what happens. PM. AM. Okay. So now hopefully Moonlake has incredibly fast mail service. And we'll get that key.
A package just arrived for you from Las Vegas.
Great. Vivian sent me the key.
I'll dispose of the package. Wouldn't want to break any littering laws, would we?
Did your grandfather ever find any gold on Malone's property?
If he did, he never spent it. He wasn't poor when he died, but he certainly wasn't rich.
Thanks for all your help.
That's why I'm here.
Okay, so we have the key. All right. Nope, where's the stump? Where's the stump? There it is. All down the sides. Okay, so now to change. There we go. And we're in.
It's too dark. I need a flashlight. Oh, the batteries are going dead. I can't see a thing. I'd better go back.
There we go. I guess we gotta go see Em and see if we can get some batteries. So would have been way too convenient to have a functioning flashlight. Fantastic timing. That went the wrong way. Bum, bum. Bum, bum. Okay. Do 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 do.
How you holding up?
I need flashlight batteries. Do you carry them?
Yep. But you know, I've been meaning to make a purty display out of them packs of combo coal over there for the longest time. Just can't seem to get around to it.
In other words, you'd like me to give it a shot.
Here's the way it should look when you're done.
Can I click it? There we go. Okay. Another day, another chore. Okay, so we're supposed to have a green line. Okay. So, okay, that's all in order. That's all in order. I bet it's this one. Okay, that's all right. That's right. That's right. That. Like that. So it goes here. Actually, it probably doesn't go right there, but it'll go there for now. This. And turn this.
Ta-da! One smiling goldfish. It's obviously never tried combo cola.
Is that Nancy's way of saying combo cola is awful? Now I'm curious.
Hey, Nancy, this mean you got them cans stacked?
You bet. They look just like the picture you gave me, which you can have back.
Here's your batteries, and thanks, Nancy.
Put the batteries in. Can't believe they didn't make putting batteries in some kind of puzzle. That would have been kind of fun. Okay, and into the cemetery once again we go. Oh, come on, where's the log? Oh, I was doing so good. There's the log. Okay. Got turned around only for a little bit there. Okay. And yep, we have to do Baldo again. Alright. This time we do not have to worry about the flashlight running out of battery.
It's silly to try to explore this in the dark.
Well, that's why you have a flashlight, Nancy. Okay. Ooh, big hole. It's like a dead end.
Uh-oh.
Which way do we go? Try this way first. I don't know if this was right or not. It was!
So this is the speakeasy. Wow.
There we go. We found it. Mickey Malone's Speakeasy. What a place. What a place. So beautiful. And unfortunately, that is all the time that I have for today. So thank you so much for joining me. Next episode, we will explore the Speakeasy, and I actually have a feeling we're probably going to finish this game in the next episode. So I can't wait to do it. I'm having a lot of fun. I don't remember this game being this fun. I'm genuinely enjoying this. This is really great. But anyway, like I said, I'm out of time for today. I gotta get going. So thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you want the latest updates on when I post a new video, make sure you turn your notifications on. Once again, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, stay sleuthy.